Hi, everybody. My name's Catherine Corona. Welcome to my live. Welcome to joining me on Instagram, TikTok. I think I'm on YouTube. And I just had this amazing video get like 1.3 million views. And so I thought I'd do a live today because I was talking on that video. I was talking about that we are spiritual beings. Right? We come from the divine. This is not our home. And so how do I know this? From 50 years of doing meditation and spiritual practices. And those are a practice where you go inward, you find in your deepest heart this place that always exists in every person that is still, utterly still. And you have to leave the world really to do it. Although once you practice for a while, you'll know that place of stillness all the time. It'll just become awakened inside of you. Kind of like, if you're interested in buying a new car and let's say you want, you want a Volkswagen, and all of a sudden you see Volkswagens everywhere you go. You just see Volkswagens. It's when you open up that deep place inside your heart where there's stillness and peace. It's like the eye of a storm. It's always there. In a tornado, in a cyclone, there's an eye, right? There's a center that is still. And the rest of it can be causing all kinds of havoc. And yet there's a place of stillness. A tornado, a typhoon, a cyclone can be whirling and spinning and causing damage and scaring people, and yet inside its center is still. And that's what a spiritual practice can do for you. That's how that you cultivate and expand your awareness to this place that's you find it in your heart, this deep, deep place that's always still, always peaceful. But the world doesn't lead us there. The world leads us, if we let the winds of the world blow us here and there, it leads us into disturbance, chaos. There's love out there, the love with our families, the people we love, the things we love to do, the fun we love to have, all of that. And I hope you've defined the things that you love for yourself and are doing them every single day. That's the key to a happy life. Doing what you love, doing what's fun every single day. Every single day. I'm just going to check this out and see. It looks like it's all working, but I don't get, wait a minute, here's a chat. Do I get a chat to see? Show on stream. Not sure. Okay, it says new comments will appear there. Well, we'll see. I'm kind of new at this and learning about it, and as we go, so I'm just kind of looking at this to see what if I can even figure out if there's anybody watching. I don't know if there is. Maybe I find out later. I'm not really sure how it all works. Yeah. Anyway, so I was talking about what are all these looking at all these settings and seeing what's available. All right. I'll keep going, talking about being a spiritual being, having a physical existence. And a lot of people think, well, we're these physical, because we are in these bodies, right? They think we're in this physical existence, and we reach, or maybe we'll transform into a spiritual being, but it's the opposite. We're spiritual beings having a physical existence. So why are we having a physical existence? Well, we're balancing our karma. What does that mean? That means everything has to be equalized. That's a spiritual law. So if we do something, anything that is not kind, loving, and we all do, we're all human, but in the spiritual law, that has to be balanced out. And that's called karma. Now there is grace, and that's what Jesus came and brought. In the metaphysical ideas of what Jesus the Christ was, he was the Christ. The Christ is a station, a spiritual station, meaning that he was the embodiment of the great creator, of God, of the Sugma. That's a Hindu word for the creator. And he embodied divinity. And then he said, all this we can do, all this you can do, and even greater. So he kind of laid the gauntlet down and said, you can be loving, you can know yourself as divine, you can know yourself as God, you can be as I am. And that's a great intention. And he laid that down. That I look at it as a challenge. He laid down the challenge to know yourself as divine. To know yourself as divine and live in this physical world. That is the full potential of a human. And that's why we're here. So why would divinity come here? To balance past actions, to make them right, to do the right thing, and to know yourself, to be an expression of the divine, and to be the eyes and ears of the divine on the physical realm. So we're like a conduit if we choose to do that. And what does that do for your life? To know yourself as a divine being and to know your soul, which is said is the spark of the divine. You can bring that forward in your life, in your daily life, and live from that. And life truly becomes magical. Serendipitous things happen. You meet people, things that may be plaguing you, and injury and illness, they can heal. It's magic. It's like luck. It's like pure love comes your way. Maybe not 100% of the time, but most of the time. And what were once your lows, what were once your highs are now your lows in this exalted, awake, and aware state. We are here to wake up as spiritual beings. We are here to come in the awareness of what the fullness of our existence is. And the fullness of our existence is a physical life and a spiritual life. Together, aligned, attuned, knowing yourself, knowing the high heavens while you're here as you know the world. Just as you know your best friend, or you know your parents, or you know these people that you love, you can know the spiritual beings. And why not? Can you imagine what life on this planet would be like if we all knew ourselves as divine? There just wouldn't be any more conflicts, because we would know every other person as divine. And we would never judge them, would we? We would accept them. And when others do silly things or nonsense, we would accept that too. and maybe lend a hand and help them out, because that's what we're truly here for, to lend a hand also and to help folks out when we're called. Not that we become the savior or we go out on a crusade, but there are things every day I bet you find in your life where you can contribute and serve. Maybe it's just a smile with the lady at the checkout stand, or letting people in traffic. Oh my gosh, letting people in traffic. How about not getting mad at people in traffic in your little confinement of your vehicle, and then you're getting mad at people? You know, people feel that. They can feel the vibe of that through the air, through the cars. What about just blessing them? Because maybe they need it today. Maybe they need a little bit of a helping vibe there today. And then this is how your life becomes a contribution, where everything you do is of service. Everything you do contributes. That's a great life. That's a fulfilling life. And as you awaken into your soul, into the spirit of the divine that you truly are, that flow of divinity, then you invite it even more deeply into every aspect of your life. So you can use it for healing. To use your soul for healing means you take that divinity that the soul is, and you consciously put it into your body and let it find the places that need healing. That's the healing technique of using your soul for healing. It's not hard. It just takes intention. And I would suggest you go into a quiet place where nobody, and it can just take 3 or 4 minutes. Find a quiet place, 3 or 4 minutes. Maybe it's just in your bathroom. And invite your soul to come present in a way that you can understand. And then invite that energy, that vibe, that frequency, the flow of your soul into the places that need it. And maybe that's into your mind, because your mind is spinning, or it's telling you the same things and you just want a little peace there. Or maybe you feel anxious, or you feel sad, or you feel angry, or your emotions are just disturbed in one of these emotions that is not fun. And you put that soulic energy in your emotions and you just calm down and live from that place. And as you do it more and more, as you practice, this becomes more and more of your state of being, where your state of being is calm and purposeful and kind and loving. And what if we all did that? All did that. And maybe somebody doesn't like what you're doing, or they yell at you, or they get on your case. What if, instead of hitting back or fighting back, what if you just bless them and make it funny? Could you do that? Could you take that high road? Be the big person. We see a lot in our world with some of our politicians, this fighting and this vilifying others and criticizing them and judging them. That's not right. We don't have to do that. That's a small person trying to be big. That's a small, small way of living. And maybe doing those dark things get you money somehow, or get you fame and glory, but it doesn't get you peace. And it doesn't get you an awareness and awakening of heaven. And heaven can be here on earth. When a person lives in constantly trying to get retribution, constantly judging people, constantly vilifying them, constantly poking fun of them, calling them bad names, that's living in hell. That's a state of mind, a state of heart, a state of being that's hellish. I feel sorry for that person. That's not joy. That's not loving. It's not contribution. Whatever they may say, it's not. If we all lived in loving each other. I know this sounds maybe Pollyanna-ish, but children do. Children are joyful. Little babies, cats, little kittens, little every baby animal is playing and fun and joyful and innocent. And this is what life can be. And this is why I come on these lives. I just come on these lives to just hopefully, send a message of life can be as good as you want it to be. You are not the victim of life. I hear a lot of people oh, that's scary. Oh, this is scary. That's scary. Oh, that made me scared. Where has this come from? All this word in the vernacular and this is scary. When you trust life, nothing is scary. Fear is a waste of time. Fear doesn't help you. If you have a charging animal coming at you, a charging dog on a city street or in a countryside, if you get afraid, you're not going to think straight. It does not help you to be afraid. So just on that basic logic, fear is a waste of time. And you might say, well, it's natural because we have instinct as an animal species from way back when, but we can rise above that. We're not out there, most of us, hunting a wild animal for our next meals. We don't need fear. Fear pushes us to do things and to think of things that are not helpful to ourselves or others. And in your soul, in your spirit, in your divine nature, there's no fear. There's just no fear in your soul. Go there. And you can shift it. If you start to feel afraid, just shift. Go to your soul. Bring that soul down. And the more you practice it, the more you can do it. It's not that hard. It's a simple shift in your state of being. Not into your mind. You don't need to logic it out. You don't need to find reasons not to be afraid. You just go to your soul, the peace in your heart. That place, your bigger self, your divine self, is never afraid. And that's where the trust in life comes. But you might say, well, there's people out there that would hurt me. That's true. We have criminals. We have violent people. But in your soul, you have a radar. You do have a radar. Trust it. And those people that will hurt you, just walk away. Turn and walk away. It's really that simple. You don't need, as my teacher, John Roger, would say, you don't need to put your head in front of a swinging baseball bat. That's just not smart. But at the same time, you don't have to have fear. At the same time. So whatever you're saying is scary, catch yourself. Try not to say that. It doesn't help you. It doesn't help anybody else. And I know we hear it everywhere. We hear it on the social channels. We hear it in the news even. This is scary. That is scary. Just ignore it. Stop. Don't go to fear inside of yourself. That is a seduction of the world to get you away from your divine self. So the world has its seductions. You can say the temptations, the things that are designed to make you stronger if you don't succumb to them, if you don't let them push and pull you. And what are those things? Judgments, criticism, fear, anxiety, I know. I just know so many people that, well, I have anxiety. I'll go get on a pill. And maybe you need that and it helps you. And that's all well and good. But you can also go into your soul where there's no anxiety. What about that? But you go, can I? Yeah, you can. Everybody can. Probably nobody's taught you that, though. Probably nobody's taught you that there's a place in your consciousness that is never afraid, that doesn't judge people or criticize, that accepts everything, that trusts life, that trusts yourself, that has a radar for danger and will keep you away from it when you listen to it. So what are people really afraid of anyway? You afraid of dying? You know, we're all going to die. You afraid of getting maimed? Well, you know, that's a pretty legitimate, that's fair. But when you trust life and you ask for the protection of your soul, everything that comes your way is for your benefit. It's for your learning, your growth, your expansion, and your awakening and awareness into soul. Every single person on this planet will one day, maybe not this lifetime, maybe another lifetime, will one day awaken to their soul and to the divinity that they are. You can just ask for it now. And it doesn't mean everything will be easy, but it does mean you will know how to handle everything that comes your way with grace, because you'll understand that everything that comes your way is for your learning, your growth, your awareness, your awakening. You're becoming a better person. You're becoming a stronger person, and then sharing all that with others. That's the whole trajectory of life right there. That's what 50 years of spiritual and meditation practice has taught me, that the whole trajectory of life is in your favor, for your benefit, for you to learn and grow, and ultimately for you to know yourself as a divine being, to bring your soul awake and expressive in your day-to-day life, and then to serve, to contribute, and to share. And how you serve, contribute, and share, that's what your talents are, your gifts are. And everybody has a special gift, special talent. Maybe it's doing art, maybe it's doing music, maybe it's listening to people as a counselor, as a therapist, as a minister, as an imam, as a person that serves others. Maybe it's as a football player, and you're even serving others that get to be entertained by your sport, whatever your talent is and your gift. And sometimes they change throughout life. You have a gift when you're younger, maybe you're a gifted athlete, but by the time you're 70, maybe you're doing other things. Other gifts come forward in your life as life goes on. One gift after another, one special talent after another. It's up to you to choose to express them. That's the fun of life. And that's how you trust life, because it's always in our favor, even though it doesn't always look that way. So I hope maybe you've gained something interesting in this video here today. And I hope you'll join me, subscribe. I post things every single, like 3 times a day, that hopefully inspire people, give you some things to think about, give you pause. There's music there on my accounts. So subscribe, and please comment. I'd love to hear from you, and please like it and share to your friends. I have it's called Soul and Spirit Meditation and Spiritual Practice Program that I've put together. Every day you receive 5 spiritual practices in recording form: an invocation, a teaching from a spiritual master, an affirmation to guide your mind and emotions, an ancient chat with beautiful music, and a guided meditation that gives you some stillness practice. It's only 5 to 7 minutes a day, and I'm just giving it for you to help you. It's my global community service project. Click below and you can just sign up and we'll send you an email every day, or you can go to the app or you can go to the website and share it, please, with others. But enjoy it. It'll transform you. You'll find a great deep peace when you practice, and it'll get easier and easier as you practice. Just 5 to 7 minutes a day. That's all it takes. So click below and we'll send it to you. I'd love for you to join us, and there's surprises every month also. Thank you for joining me. Namaste.